longer Nnamdi Kanu remain in prison, the more the cause he is fighting for is being flourished by his own detention. Tinubu is a president that came from the trenches. He is one of those who fought for democracy and freedom. And I believe, if not for the fact that he went to exile, he could have ended up in prison with us in the 90s. Then someone of his own stature cannot be lectured about democracy or human rights, because we are all in the trenches fighting. So my expectation is that the problem cannot be solved by keeping the leader of the struggle perpetually in prison. You don't solve the problem. You can only solve the problem if you discuss the problem.
This message is just to whom it may concern. This message is to those Southeast governors and politicians who are writing Tinubu private message, not to release Nnamdi Kanu. Even your messages have been leaked. Everything you are doing, people know there is nothing that is hidden. Even the federal government that has not taken the courage to release Nnamdi Kanu. I want to ask a question. You know, when Sunday Igboho was captured, when he was arrested and detained, and one of those people that spoke against it, because you don't stop people without resolving the problem why the agitation started. Federal government now, since they arrested Nnamdi Kanu, tell me what has changed. What has changed? If you are doing something without a purpose, it is very useless. Now tell me, if you are detaining Nnamdi Kanu, maybe since you detain Nnamdi Kanu, Fulani herdsmen stop terrorizing, banditry stop, kidnapping stop, Boko Haram stop, they could have said, oh, maybe he was one of the causes of those insurgents. But since you people hold this man now, it's getting to 2 years. I was 20 them. It's almost 2 years and now they rearrested him and he was held captive. Tell me what has changed. Everything is even becoming worse. The agitation of Biafra we are talking about, maybe if they hold Nnamdi Kanu, the agitation will stop. The agitation continues. So tell me, why are you holding this man responsible? Now, the reason why I'm saying this is, if federal government at all want to take the courage and respect the rule of law, even Nigerian court that people don't have confidence on, they have even looked around. They did not see where to hold Nnamdi Kanu responsible against the whole suit federal government debated against him. Court of Appeal discharged him. Supreme Court said federal government wronged him, that everything federal government did against him, both his how they brought him back from Kenya and how they sent military to his house, that federal government wronged him. Now, see, Supreme Court taking this case of Nnamdi Kanu back to Federal High Court is not normal. Normally, he's supposed to be freed there. You cannot discharge somebody, you know, free of charge. You said Nnamdi Kanu did not do wrong by running away, by doing this, by doing that, but you have to go back to answer that terrorism charge that even a appeal court has dismissed. You ask him to go back to the Federal High Court. That is to tell you that there is an order that is making him to be detained. So it's not all about the court proceeding. So people should understand that holding this man in ransom did not change anything. So it is better they release him. And according to Senator Shehu Sani, I think the best thing they could do is to dialogue about this thing. Everything is not all about violence. And anytime we are talking about this issue of Biafra agitation or secession, people will look at it as if people who are agitating are criminals. Maybe because they have not heard directly from Nnamdi Kanu or somebody like Sunday Igboho. So let me leave you to watch this video on one-on-one interview with Nnamdi Kanu, where he explained everything about his agitation.
What does Biafra mean?
It means freedom, liberty, fairness, equity, and justice.
In practical terms, these are very good sounding words, but in practical terms, what does Biafra mean?
Confederation.
So a weak center,
very weak,
very strong regions.
Absolutely.
Have you had a change of mind, therefore, about getting an independent Biafra? Because that's what I seem to be hearing.
No, I've not changed my mind, no. An independent Biafra means getting back to the way we were before the white man came.
Okay, so you're not talking about a federation when you say a confederation. You're not talking about a federation as part of Nigeria. You're talking about total independence.
Absolute independence.
Complete independence. Now, is there anything that can happen that will make you change your mind about this particular direction?
No.
So it is either Biafra or nothing else?
Or death, yes.
Or death?
That's correct.
If push comes to shove,
Yes.
will you go to war?
No, because truth is a far more potent and deadlier weapon than bullets and mortars.
So truth. No war? You've ruled out the...
Absolutely, I don't believe in war, no. No war. When I say Biafra or death, I'll keep pushing. Either I am alive, I die in the process, I won't stop. Allow me to repeat, if you don't mind. Had sovereign national conference been convened by the powers that be, where every ethnic nation, I said every, I don't care if there are 600, I don't care. Everyone is
all the 500 plus.
Everyone together to say this is all, others can delegate, I don't know, powers to other people to attend on their behalf. Sit down to say, what type of country do we want? Sit down, discuss, agree. I can begin to perhaps submit to your position. Is it too
late?
It is way too late. They've killed too many people. They've ruined too many lives. They've wasted too many souls. How do we bring those people back?
If the federal government, given the agitation that is going on, becomes convinced that, you know what, these people have a point, it is time to actually address all these issues, and they begin to systematically address some of these issues, would you change your mind?
No, because of the deceptions of the past.
No trust?
No trust. Aburi was there, it was negotiated. Nothing happened, 1968, if I recall. And the confab report, what became of it? How about the 3 R's, reconciliation, reconstruction, and heaven knows what else? What became of them? Nothing. Calabar Seaport is not working. Can you tell me why it's not working? It's a seaport used by the colonial masters. Why is it not working today? How about Iguacha Seaport? Why is it not being used? Why not worry? Why must we allow only Lagos to function as a viable seaport? In England, where I used to live, you had Liverpool, you had the Sun, which is Portsmouth, Southampton, everywhere. You had harbors and ports. So why must you have only one?
I've heard people say these are very valid arguments, and that these are things that are to do with bad governance. So the average Biafran, to use your phrase, or Igbo man in the Igbo, is facing poverty much in the same way that the average guy in Yobe State is facing poverty. And so these are issues of governance. You don't agree with that?
I agree completely.
Okay. So if that is it, why isn't the agitation about tackling the problem, which is ensuring good governance, perhaps starting from locally? Because part of the allegations against you is that you don't confront your political leaders in the East, and you'd like to blame Abuja for everything.
Because the way I would want to solve a problem is not how a Fulani man would want to solve it.
You really believe this is an ethnic thing, and the approach is different?
No, the approach is different. No, it's not ethnic. It is more to do with value system.
Right.
The way you may want to solve a problem could be markedly different from how I do mine.
What is the geographical makeup of Biafra, as far as you are concerned, this Biafra that you want? So for example, if we're doing a referendum, where will that referendum take place? Is it only the 5?
It's on, no.
It's okay.
It's on, which is River State, Bayelsa, Delta, Anambra, Imo, Enugu, Ebonyi, Cross River,
Akwa Ibom?
And Akwa Ibom, of course. Yes.
Right.
Those are the coasters. Basically,
Bayelsa?
Yes. Southeast and South without Edo State.
Without Edo State.
That's correct. And then including Igede, Idoma.
Right, the Benues. So that's the Igalas and part of the Kogi State, right?
Yeah.
Nyosom Wike, the governor of Anambra, sorry, the governor of River State, made a statement, I think it was yesterday or the day before yesterday, and said you should not be including River State
It's for the
and
people of River State to decide,
people.
not him. I can't decide for Biafrans. They have to go and vote and convince the whole world that they want Biafra. It's not for instance, it's only one man, one vote.
What if they're not even willing to take part in the referendum? Because I've had people from the South, for example, from Bielsa. I've had people from Cross River. I think there's a famous actress, Kate Henshaw, for example, wrote a long piece about why people of the South don't want to be dragged into a place called Biafra. You're saying, regardless of what they say, you want a referendum in those parts?
Because I know the majority of the people want a referendum. I was in Iguacha yesterday.
How do you know?
I was there yesterday. I was in Iguacha yesterday. You call Port Harcourt. I was there yesterday. I should have been there to see what happened.
Now,
They were delighted to see me. I'm sure you know that. It's all over the place. They're very happy to see me. I bet Kate Henshaw wouldn't get such reception were she to go to
as a
Iguacha.
big popular Nollywood actress, I wouldn't necessarily.
I'm telling you, if I go to her village, people will turn out to see me more than turn out to see her.